Hey guys, welcome back to part number 8 in this the rat course series that I'm making on my YouTube channel. So in this video session, we're going to knock out the quick thumbnail information stuff. In the last video I did mention we might work on remote desktop a little bit. We are going to, but not fully. Like, we're not going to this extreme yet to actually control the screen or even take a screenshot and throw it here yet. But we are going to take a screenshot and throw it here. Because this is all the thumb information, okay? So that is to say, when you click on a person or a client, we're going to throw their quick information here and here. So we're going to get their screenshot thumbnail image, and then so we can kind of see a sneak preview of kind of what the client is currently doing on their screen, and then we're going to throw some bits and pieces of information down here, such as their CPU, GPU, and whether or not they have a laptop versus a desktop. So we'll be able to detect whether or not they're on a desktop or a laptop using an if-then conditional statement. And the cool part is I'm going to go the extra step with you guys, and we're going to add images to each of the things that we add in this thing. So that is to say, for the GPU, it'll have a little GPU icon. For the CPU information, it'll have a CPU icon. And for the laptop or desktop, it'll have either a laptop or a desktop icon. Be pretty cool, right, guys? So let's go ahead and get this party started. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to figure out a way to send the information from the server, this endpoint here, to the client. So here, let me give you just a brief demonstration. Let me go ahead and open this on up. I want you guys to all be on the same page with me here. So if I listen and we get someone connecting in, so this would be someone connecting into our stuff, right? So when they do, and you're able to see the person here, right? So if I were to take my mouse and click on them, like click, then we're going to instantly get their desktop image thumbnail, like a sneak preview of their screen. And we're also going to throw in some information down here as soon as you click on them, okay? So like anything in rat programming, this is a two-way street. So let's go ahead and go back, and let's try to figure this out as best we can. So on the list view, where all the people show up, right, like all the clients and stuff, there is an event called onClick. Okay, we can take advantage of that. So we're going to go into it, and we're going to write all of this same code that we have on this other S1 click. So we're just going to copy that, because it's pretty much the same damn thing, and we're just going to paste right over it. Boom. So we have our current client. If no one is selected, then we're not doing anything. We're going to exit. So if you don't click on anybody in here, it's not going to throw any errors or anything like that. It's just going to skip that event. So you have to select someone in order to get the info, right? That's what I'm basically saying. So the current client becomes the pointer string of the selected item's data property, which, if you guys remember, should technically be their unique client ID, which we set up when they connect in, which is a cardinal. So if you guys remember, each person that connects in, each client socket connection that connects in, we put an item in here to show them. And we also put a data property, a kind of hidden data property that resides in memory, and doesn't show necessarily on the item, but it's to lock on to each individual person that we click on, right? So let's go back to the onClick event procedure. So here we're saying the current client is the person that we clicked on, okay? And then we're going to send data to that specific client, that single client, to that client that we clicked on right here, and we're going to send something over to them. So get screenshot. That's what we want to send to them, because we want them to get a screenshot and send it back to us, right? So copy that, go to the client, go down to the code where we have the handle command event procedure. So as you can see, we have a lot of stuff going on here. We've got the new con, hello, single hello, task manager, kill process, blah, 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 blah. So this last one is part of a template that I made for us right here. We're going to copy this a couple more times. So copy, paste, 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 just to give us a whole bunch more for future videos, right? So in this particular video, we're going to get a screenshot. So take a screenshot of the client's screen and send it back over to the rat server. Okay, so that command was get screenshot. Copy that, paste that. So paste it right here. That's all you got to do, boys. So now we're going to take this and we're going to try to run with it and see if we can program in getting a screenshot for ourselves here. So when we send that command over, we're going to have to make a couple of new variables here. So let me go ahead and pop up to the variable section here, and we're going to make some more variables. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to have to mess a little bit with the Windows API here to be able to get screenshot information. So we're going to do this desktop capture handle as a HDC. This, I believe, is part of the Windows API. Yes, it is. So that will be the, let me see what this actually runs through. HDC is type unit pointer. Okay, so yeah, this is something that we can use to point kind of like to the desktop we'd like to capture, right? So what we're going to do is get the screen BMP as a T bitmap image, okay? Now, we're also going to need a JPEG image because I'm going to show you guys how to convert that to a JPEG and send it on over. So we're also going to need a memory stream, T memory stream, for sending the imagery across the socket connection to the rat server. And we're also going to need the screenshot data, which is T bytes. So now you guys are probably thinking, okay, this is all great and dandy, but why does the JPEG image not work? Why? Well, it's undeclared. That's because in order to work with JPEGs, you have to include the JPEG unit. So that's all there is to it. Just include JPEG in your uses and you should be good to go. All right, great. We have all of our new declarations to be able to grab a screenshot of the client's PC and send it over the socket connection to ourselves. All right, so let's go ahead and work on this and see if we can get it done. So back down to the section where we're doing the get screenshot, we're going to have to set our screen BMP equal to creating a T bitmap. So we're creating a T bitmap in memory so we can play with it. JPEG image is also a T JPEG image.create. Now we've got both a bitmap and a JPEG to play with. So we're also going to create a memory stream. So we're going to go MS will be equivalent to T memory stream.create. Okay, so boys, we just created all three necessary things for us to be able to grab an image and send it, all right? This could be made a lot shorter, by the way. We really don't need a JPEG image, but I'm doing it because I would like you guys to see the full extent of what you can do with stuff. And you can convert it into multiple different types of stuff. Or hell, you could even just send it as raw bytes. It really doesn't matter. It really, honestly does not fucking matter. All right, so we're going to try. Okay, so this is going to be a try statement. And we're going to follow through really slowly. So we are going to capture the screen. All right. So at this point, we're going to say that we're going to take control of our bitmap image, and it's kind of like you're taping over something. We're going to take an image, make it the width and height of the screen, and then we're going to snap a screenshot of it using that T bitmap, using the get DC command. So it's like this screen BMP that we created above. If you guys remember, we created it like, right up here. This screen BMP T bitmap. and we also create it here. So we're going to say the screen bitmap dot width is equal to screen dot width, and the screen BMP dot height is equal to the screen dot height. It's that simple, boys. How awesome is that? DC is equal to get DC 0, so the first screen or monitor that the person is using, right? Then we're going to come down and do another try statement. So just bear with me. I know this gets a little clunky, but we're going to go to another try statement inside of that one, and we're going to put BIT BLT. We're using BitBLT to grab the screenshot, okay? And this is the most primitive way you could possibly do this, by the way. The most simplistic, most primitive way I could possibly think of to show you guys how to get a screenshot. It's pretty much used the same in almost every language you can think of. There are far better ways of doing this. This is just a simple way of doing it, okay? So screen BMP dot canvas dot handle 0 screen dot width screen dot height DC 0 and we're going to use the screen copy command, src copy. That's it. And then we are going to say, finally, when we're done capturing the screenshot, release DC 0 DC. That's it. Now we have the screenshot. Okay. So we're going to come down past this end, and we're going to make some more blank lines here to work with, because we have to now convert our taken screenshot into a JPEG image. So we're going to say JPG image.assign, and it's asking for a source, which is a persistent. So it is the screen BMP. That's what we're going to assign it to. It is now converted to a JPEG image. Congratulations, boys. That's how fucking easy it is. Okay, JPG image dot compression quality, because we're going to compress it before we send it over the socket connection so it sends quicker. And honestly, guys, think about it. If you're on your rat looking at, hang on, if you're on your rat looking around at someone, you're clicking on them to see, maybe you're a teacher or instructor and that's why you're making this thing, I don't know, right? And you want to see what your students do. And if you click on that, you would get a little thumbnail just to kind of see what they're doing. You know what I mean? So it doesn't have to be amazing 8K freaking quality, right? We don't give a shit. So we're just going to, it's just a tiny thumbnail image anyway, right? So we're going to go ahead and compress it down, which does kind of lose a bit of quality, but we don't care because it's just a thumbnail image. It's just for you to look at and say, oh yeah, they're on Google or Bing or whatever, blah, 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 right? So we're going to say that that's going to be 50%. So I'm going to compress the image by 50%. And then I'm going to go JPEG image.save to stream MS, our memory stream for sending. Now, get the bytes to send. We're going to say ms.position : equals 0. We're setting the memory stream all the way to the left, all the way to nothing, all the way to 0. Set length of the screenshot data, and we're going to put this at 0 to the ms.size. Now we've set the size of the screenshot data from 0 to the memory stream's size. So this is asking me, it's saying incompatible types. So basically, I believe, here, let me take a peek at this. What have I done wrong? Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, that's not what you're supposed to do, boys. It's it's set length of the screenshot data to the memory stream size, but I think that what I did is I forgot that this is actually not properly typed. So here, let me just start this line over again. It's set length screenshot data, and then it is from placeholder 0 to the memory stream dot size. So now if it still gives me the error, it's because I put this incorrectly up above. So let me make double sure that I do have that in the proper place. Okay, so it does look like I did it correctly. Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. It's not an array. I'm so stupid. I'm sorry about that, guys. You set the length of the screenshot data to the memory stream size. Now we can proceed. Jesus. ms.read buffer. And then we can do the t bytes, which array of 0 from 0 to the end, like I was trying to do in the earlier line. So what we've done is we've set the position of the memory stream to 0. We've set the length of our screenshot data to the size of the memory stream, which now holds our image. And now we're saying memory stream dot read buffer. So we're going to read in the image. Okay. So we're going to say screenshot data from 0 to the memory stream dot size. And that is how that's done, boys. So now we can send over the image data, or image command, and the image data to the rat server. So now we'll say client socket dot execute command, and the first param is 0, as always, bytes of, and then we're going to send get screenshot with a pipe, and then we're going to come over here and put plus, and I'll just kind of separate that out a bit. The screenshot data, like that. And then we're going to do false because we're not expecting an async result. Okay, great. So we're sending the command get screenshot, or we really should put here's the screenshot, but we'll just put get screenshot and the screenshot. And that's how simple it is, boys. So now that we've done this, I want you to know that, you know what? Actually, I don't. I'm going to save this just as it is, okay? We're going to work on some stuff down here later, but until that time, we need to go ahead and free our memory. So let's go ahead and free up everything we just created. So again, let me make this clear to you guys. Once you create all three of these things and you use them, you're finally done with them, right? So screen BMP dot free, just do dot free, and do JPG image dot free, and do ms.free. We just freed the bitmap image, the JPEG image, and the memory stream because we're done with them. All three of them we're done with. We created them up here, we used them to their full extent, and then we free the memory. This is proper programming, guys. This is what it takes for proper memory management, etc., etc. Make sure you clean up your code and make it look nice. So, all right. So now that we've done all that, we're really ready to give it kind of a test run, but we still have to program the server. So just bear with me. Go to the server side and go to the server socket. On the events, you want to go to onHandle command. So once we're there on the onHandle command event procedure, we have to program in our screenshot stuff, which is very, very basic. So just scroll down a bit until you find. Try to look for something that you can copy that's like easy to copy. So I'm gonna copy newcon. So just copy all the way down to this, copy, and then enter some blank here, paste. I'm gonna put else, and then I'm going to erase everything between here and here. If it errors, not a big deal. Don't worry about it. We can get rid of this one too. And that's that. So now we have the perfect setup for a new command statement. And that command statement is going to be get screenshot. So paste in get screenshot, and now we're ready to program. See, how cool is that? So in this, the get screenshot stuff, we are going to put, let's go ahead and declare some stuff up here. So For this bit of code, I'm going to use a couple inline variables, which I'm not used to doing, and it seems a little bit kind of unnatural to me, because Delphi programmers up for the past 30 years or 40 or 50 years, however long it's been, we always put our variables at the top of our code. But recently, in this version of the IDE and the previous version, we actually introduced inline variables, kind of like you do in Python and stuff like that. So I'm going to try it out and just see if it works. And I think I've mentioned this before. I'm trying to get used to this as it's a new kind of programming concept for me. But I'm going to try putting in some inline variables. Image data is t bytes. Now we're going to put another variable called prefix length, which is going to be an integer. So here, let me get that out of the way so you guys can see what I did. Control D. So I created a couple of inline variables here. Oh God, this just looks awful. I may have to put these above, guys. This drives me nuts. I don't think I can deal with that. As a Delphi programmer, I like my code neat. But anyway, so these are inline variables, if you will, for this, only for this command structured statement. Okay, only for this code right here is what they'll be used for. So now that I've created them, what we can do is we can receive the image. So you have to understand that on the client side, we're sending a command and a pipe and then the image data, which is actually going to make up the image itself, right? So we have to separate this from this. And to do that, we use a pipe, okay? So, we use a pipe for the command stuff, but we also have to calculate like this, like how many characters is this, like get screenshot 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. It's 13, but it's actually 14 including the pipe. So we have to erase this out of kind of like we have to segregate them. That way we don't accidentally try to get this plus the data and try to add get screenshot pipe plus the image data to an image, because that's not how it works, ladies and gentlemen. You got to have image data to throw into a t-image component, not string data. It doesn't work that way, okay? So over here, we're receiving get screenshot and a pipe, which you don't see here because it's part of my delimiter with parameters, but we're getting get screenshot and a pipe and then the screenshot itself. So let's separate those out, okay? We need to first calculate the, here, let me calculate the length of the received command so that we can separate it from the image data. So we'll just simply put prefix length is going to be equal to the length of the bytes of our command get screen shot. And we have to put a pipe there as well. So that's that. So now we have the length of that, and I misspelled length. But there you have it. So there's the length. So now prefix length becomes the length of all of this, which should be 13 or 14, right? So now we have it, okay? And also, in case you guys are curious or whatever, the reason that I didn't put params 0 here is because we also have the pipe. So it would be kind of stupid of me to sit here and type out param 0 plus a pipe. That would be stupid. So instead, I just manually hard-coded the command plus a pipe at the end of it, okay? Much easier to work with that way, okay? All right, so now that we have the length, we have to create a byte array just for the image portion, okay? Separate grab the image. Literally, that's what we're doing, boys, okay? We are going to set length of the image data, okay? Setting length of image data to the length of a data, which is all the data we received. That means get screenshot pipe plus all the image data, okay? But here's the thing. We're going to minus the prefix length, okay? Get it? So we just erased all of this from the image data, okay? Now we have the image inside of image data. We have it. So now we are going to copy just the image data, skipping the prefix. So copy only the image data minus the prefix command. So we will say move a data prefix length image data from 0 to the length of a data minus prefix length. So now display the photo, display the screenshot like that. So what we can do now is just show it on the thing. So this is going to be done in a thread, and I would like to do it in this t-threaded queue. So in this queue, we're going to create a variable, ms tMemory stream. So we're going to say ms is going to be equal to tMemory stream.create, and we're going to say try, finally, when we're done with all this, we have to free that memory stream, ms.free. So we'll just do that right now. So now that we have the ability to create the memory stream and deal with it, we're going to get that image. So we're going to say memory stream.write buffer, and we are going to get the image into the memory stream. Image data from 0 to the length of image data. Now we're going to do the ms.position is set back to nothing. So we're going to seek right back to the beginning of the image. Now we're going to show it on the screen. Yay! So we're going to say form1.cn water image 2, because that's the one we're going to show it on, .picture .load from stream, and we're going to put ms. It's that simple, boys. That's it. That is it. And quite literally, that is actually it. Wow, amazing. Okay, so let's give it a try and see if I got any errors. So run this, and now that we have the ability to listen, and we're going to run the client. So here's my client running, and here's my server, and we are going to simply click on this person. Okay, so click. And boom, there you go. There's a picture. Okay, so it's blurry as hell, and I'm going to tell you something, guys. My screen is 49 inches long, like width, okay? So that's why it looks like literal trash, because my screen is massive. It is huge, but this is my screenshot, and it does look correct. So that's it. And as you can see, if I move this around and I were to click on myself again, it updates somewhere new, right? So if I pull this right over here, you'll see that the white thing kind of moves. You see that? Okay, so guys, that's cool, right? So now when you click on this, you want to get their image, which we already did, but we also want to get some thumb information to throw down here, right? So how are we going to do that? Well, I'm going to show you. Check this out. So on the client, we're going to drag our form down just a hair because we're going to throw some more stuff on here. First of all, we want to be able to grab information. So we want to grab their processor information, which is their CPU. We want to grab their video information, which is their GPU. And we want to be able to see if they're on a laptop versus a desktop, right? So let's look for some components that you guys will have or should have installed. I'm using the glibwmi. So again, guys, if you don't have these types of components, and you should already have them on your component palette, but if you don't, go to Tools, Get It Package Manager, type in glibwmi, and when this comes up, it's this one right here. It's glibwmi component library version 3.2, and you just want to install it. It's completely free and open source. So you can just install that. Then you'll have these, and you'll be able to find them up here. So I'm going to type in processor and go to glibwmi hardware. So we're going to grab a CPU. We're going to grab a battery for if they're on a laptop versus a desktop. Because if they have a battery installed, well, that stands to reason it's a laptop, right? If they have no battery, well, it's a desktop. So that component will tell us that. The CPU will tell us their CPU's name. And we also would like to grab their GPU, which is in software, even though it's a piece of hardware. I have no idea why they did this, but whatever. It's T-Video controller info. So grab and drop that on there. Now we have to activate all three of these. 1, 2, 3. Processor, video, and battery. So double click the form anywhere in the dotty area to take you to the on form create event procedure, because this is where we're going to enable this stuff. So enable all needed stuff, whatever. So self.videocontroller.active is equal to true. Self.processor.info1.active is equal to true. And let's see, what was it? It was processor and battery info1.active is equal to true. So we just activated all three of them. True, true, true. Done. True, true, true. Done, done, done. Save. Okay, so now then, go back to your code, go back to the socket, and go back to the onHandle command code. So now that we've got the image, get screenshot. Remember, guys, we created all of our bitmap stuff. We got the screenshot. We assigned it to a JPEG image. We assigned that into a memory stream, and we sent it over the socket to the RAT server. Now we free all of our stuff here, but wait a minute, hang on, go right here. Before finally, we need to send over some quick thumbnail information regarding this system. So guys, why not just use the same command, get screenshot, to both get and send the screenshot, but also send the quick thumbnail info? Because think about it, if you click on them, you're going to get the image. Why not go ahead and send over the info right after you get the image, or literally as soon as you get the image, right? So that's what we're going to do. So let's go back to the client, and right here, so we've already got the client, we've sent the client's image over right here. Now we're going to send over the quick thumbnail information. So we're going to say, here, I'll even make it simple for you. We're getting three things. Let's go paste, paste, paste. Control D, and let's try to make these line up a little bit. Okay, guys, so this is get screenshot, get screenshot, get screenshot. Let's remove these and say thumb info. Okay, so just copy this and paste all three of those. Now, inside of this, instead of screenshot data, erase that and take these back. So get rid of get screenshot data. We don't want that. We don't want to send a screenshot like 4 or 5 times. That would be retarded, right? Okay, so now that we have it lined out much better, you see how we're sending the screenshot, and then we're going to send the thumb info, all 3 bits of the thumb info, their CPU, GPU, or GPU, CPU, and whether or not they're on a laptop or not, right? So on this, go ahead and add a plus sign for each of them and start adding the data. So we'll go, we'll do GPU first. Self.videocontroller.videocontrollerproperties.name of their GPU. It's that simple. We're done. So now as you guys can clearly see, I locked on to the video controller info 1 component here, right here, and then I went inside of it to the video controller properties and pulled its name. That's it. It's that simple, boys. Self.processor info 1 processor properties name. Done. Same thing. So we got the name of their GPU, we got the name of their CPU, and now we're going to get the battery count. So the thing about this is the battery count is either going to be 0 or 1, because computers don't generally have two batteries, right? And if they have any batteries at all, we're assuming it's a laptop, okay? The logic I'm going to program on the server here in a minute, it's going to determine whether or not they have a laptop or not. So let's go ahead and say int to str. We're going to typecast an integer to a string, okay? And we're going to say self.batteryinfo1.objectsCount. That's it, okay? The objects count shows here. I'll even show you guys. Watch. If you click on the battery and you activate it, you see how it says internal battery? but the object index is 1 and the object count is 1. That means that I have one battery on the objects count. I have one battery installed because I am on a laptop. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off. Now let's go back. So I'm sending over thumb info. I'm sending the graphics, the GPU. I'm sending over the CPU, and I'm sending over the object count of how many batteries we have, which is going to be either 0 or 1. And that's pretty much ever going to be it, right? Okay, so save. Now we have to take the thumb info, come back over to the server where we're going to program in another command, yet another command. So guys, again, I haven't made too many of these, so I'm going to copy this and just paste and paste, okay? So we're going to have to take this all out, and we've got ourselves a nice little structured thing here now. So let's do this. Instead of get screenshot, we're going to do something a little bit different here, which is going to be our new command, which is thumb info. I'm going to copy that. We're going to paste that in here like so. And now we are ready to roll. So when the client sends all 3 bits of information, it's going to go boom, 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 and send all 3 rapidly, right? We're going to have to receive it, okay? So we have our thumb info command ready to roll, and we have to receive it in a queued up thread. So what we're going to do is say tthread.queue, and we're going to then erase that out. And then this is going to become equal to our thing. So inside of this thread, we're going to say our first param is nil. Then we're going to come down and start programming. So we are going to put right here, we're going to put procedure again, which should clear up that error, by the way. And now we can actually start developing. So we've got our thread made up, ready to roll. So inside of this, we're going to receive that command and we're going to do something with it. So we're going to say li is equivalent to self.listview2.items.add, because remember, listview2 is this list view. If you hover over it, it says listview2. This is where we want the info to appear, right? So we're going to put listview2.items.add. Then we're going to say if params 1, so if the first parameter equals 0 as a string, then begin, end, and we're going to come down and do an else if params 1 equals 1, then begin, end. And then we're going to come down again and do another else, and that's going to be like that. So we've got it all structured out really nice here, guys. So if it's 0, it is going to be a desktop. If it's 1, it's going to be a laptop. Because if they have 0 batteries, that's a desktop. If they have over 0 batteries, in other words, 1 or more, that's going to be a laptop. So right here, we're going to say li.caption is going to be equal to desktop. Okay, then we're going to do something special here, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait just for a bit, okay? So right here, we're going to make another special line there for what we're going to do later. But in this case, li.caption is going to be equal to a laptop, okay? Because I'm planning on doing something pretty cool with this, and you guys are going to love it. So right here, we're done. We've got whether or not we're a desktop or a laptop. Now we need to add them to the thing, whatever else is coming in, whatever happens to get here, like in proper order or whatever. So li.caption : equals params 1 if, well, actually, hang on, guys. Let's just leave it at this. Basically, that's pretty much it. Okay, so we're going to save, we're going to click run, and we're going to test this and just see where we're at, okay? So let's just see where we're at. Let's close this out. There's the rat, there's the client, and here is our rat server again. So we're waiting on people, and voila, eventually they appear. There they are. Okay, I'm going to click this person, which is me, and we're going to see what happens over here and down here. And there you have it. You see how it literally sent the screenshot followed by, it kind of gave some info here. It was like, oh, they have this GPU, and this person has a laptop, and then this person has this CPU name. So there you have it. But we're not done yet, because I'm going to do something special. So let's go ahead and go back to our graphical interface. And let's look at the images here, because wouldn't it be kind of cool if we could put some images on those and make it look a little bit more meaningful, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to really quickly add some photos. I'm going to add some images to this. I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, guys, sorry about that. I had to download some photos. So I downloaded some photos that are really, really cool. So in the image list, I'm going to double click it, go to the end, select the last image. That way it adds to the right. And I'm going to click add. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the rat project, and we're going to add some images. So I'm going to add this one, this one, this one, and this one. So like this. So we should have the CPU, the GPU, and whether or not they're a desktop or a laptop. So I'm going to click open, no to all. Okay, so guys, we have CPU, GPU, laptop, desktop. Okay, so I'm going to hit apply. Remember, desktop is the last one. I'm going to click, desktop is 12, okay? So I'm going to hit OK. So go back to this image list, select the image list 2 with your mouse, click on it, okay? And go to Properties, Small Images, and select this and drop it down and click on Image List 1 to assign all the images of the small images list on this component to this, where we just added all of our images at. You see that, guys? You kind of get how that connects all together like that? All right, so now that we've got that, let's go back to our program code. Now, desktop was 12, so we want to say this list items dot image index is equal to 12. This one should be 10. Li dot image index should be 10, or 11, I'm sorry. And then this, so what we'll have to do is kind of figure out a system, because we're receiving both the GPU and the CPU information. However, these components can be a little slow at grabbing stuff sometimes, and we're sending an image as well. So they can arrive kind of out of order depending on whichever one grabs info first, which is kind of stupid in my opinion. Personally, I would have liked to have manually written all this code by myself. But since you guys are beginners, I'm using these cheap ass little components to do it for us. Okay, so we may get some unexpected results. But in any case, we're sending the video information first, the processor information, and then the battery count. So what we will do is we will come back over here, and on the let's put it like this. We're going to create a globalized variable. So this globalized variable, we're just going to have to call it something along the lines of like index counter, or something along that. We'll call it thumb index. So let's go to the private declarations here. Private declarations. We're going to make a counter. Okay, so this is going to be called thumb index integer. Okay, so thumb index is an integer number. Okay, so we're going to copy that. We're going to go to the forms on create event procedure, and we're going to paste in this right here and make it 0. Okay, so we're going to start counting from 0. Okay, so what we will do is put we're going to put that at 0. And then we're going to come back to the socket where we receive the handle command. And we're going to get the thumb info. However, each time one of these goes, actually, you know what? I have a better idea. How about this? I'll make it easier for you guys. Instead of having to create all this, we'll just do it much, much simpler. So come on down. Don't worry about this thumb index crap. We're just going to put it like this. So come on down to the part where you're going to receive your thumb information. So get screenshot thumb info right here. Okay, so down in here, we've already got our indexes set up for the images for desktop and laptop. However, the other two, we need a way to distinguish, which one we're going to deal with. So we're going to come down and say, if form1.listView2.items.count is greater than 1, then begin end. So this would be like this, else begin end. So this will be much easier, because if the count of the list view 2 is greater than 1, then that means we need to do a certain thing versus another certain thing. That'll be much, much better for us. So in the images, we have 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now, if you remember, 11 and 12 are already done. So we're working with 9 and 10. 9 should be if it's less than 1, and 10 should be if it's greater than 1. So, or actually, let me see if we're sending a video controller first, so that should actually be 0. So, okay, so let's take a look. It's numbers 9 and 10, okay? So in the code, we'll say if it's greater than 1, li.imageIndex : equals 10, and this one will be 9. And this is just kind of a guess here. I think this might do it just fine. We'll just go with that, okay? So now when I run the program, the rat, we're going to connect in a client, and we're going to see if we get those image indexes properly set up, okay? So we get them, and here's the person, and here's the thing, listening, blah, 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 all that jazz, and here's the person. And as you can see, it actually got them out of order, but I'll have to go and change them. But you get the point. Basically, this is how you would set up the images to show on the right-hand side, okay? And I think these might be coming out of order. Let me try like closing this out and just see if we can make this a little bit better. So we are doing thumb info, and then we are doing the video controller, the processor, and that. We'll just see if maybe I put these out of order. I may have done that. I don't know. Or it may be because the components are acting wacky, and I don't like these components for this reason. So let's go ahead and run this, and we will see what happens. So I'm going to listen. We're going to run a client, and we're going to see if it's these components just kind of fucking with me. All right. So when they pop up, click, and boom. Yeah, it's definitely working now. I had them out of order. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. I had them out of whack. So this is working fine. That's the GPU. That's a laptop, because I am on a laptop. And there's their CPU. Great, wonderful, fantastic. Now, that's pretty much it, guys. We now have their thumbnail image, and we also have some basic client information about their computer. So I hope you guys enjoyed this this quick session. Also, real quick, you see, this is kind of bothering me. I put connections up here, but when they disconnect, I put clients. So let's go fix that real quick. So whenever I did that, and if you guys have already fixed it on your end, that's fine. But like right here, I put clients and then connections. You see where I did that? Where I put connections right there? I'm gonna put clients. And let's go see if that actually fixes that, because that's really, really kind of annoying. So I'll click on this, click run, And when they connect in, it should say clients. There we go. And then I'll click that. Oh, crap. My index isn't working. Oh, well, you guys get the point. You can figure it out yourselves. Just make yourselves a better counter for that shit. And here, we'll go try to fix this real quick. So guys, I actually figured this out. I totally forgot about this. But just because we set the false at the end doesn't mean it's not asynchronous. So if you guys remember back whenever I first talked about socket programming, I mentioned that there are async sockets and there are blocking sockets, right? So non-blocking versus blocking. This is one of those stupid problems that you run into with asynchronous sockets. The execute command statement for these specific socket components is completely asynchronous, meaning whichever one of these that it grabs first, it's going to send it in that specific order. In other words, it could grab this one first before these were finished processing because they execute asynchronously. Okay, so that's why we're getting some unexpected results whenever they come over onto the actual RAT server. So what you could do to fix this, honestly, would just be to simply add an extra parameter. So for example, for thumbnail, I could put the literal image index that I would want here, or I could even put vid and another pipe. So that would be vid, right? And this one would be processor, or I can put CPU. Actually, you know what? GPU, CPU, and BAT for battery. Okay, so now we can put pipes right here. So that's GPU, CPU, and BAT. So GPU, CPU, and battery. So now we have a little bit more fine-tuned control over whether or not these arrive asynchronously to the server. So let's go back into our code. And you see how I did it like this. I put if param 0 is equal to, or if param 1, excuse me, is equal to that. So now we're going to have to basically up this by 1. So this will actually be 2. So this one here will also be 2, I believe. So now we have these taken care of, really. So we didn't really have to do the bat thing, to be honest with you. I could remove this, actually. So I think that we'll just actually do that exactly like that. So we'll actually shorten this code a whole bunch, right? So we're going to be adding stuff. So let's remove all this garbage that we don't really truly need. Okay, let's get rid of it, and let's just say that the LI will be adding items to the thumb information right here in the list view 2, right? So now that we know that params 2 is going to actually give us this information, so this is 0, 1, 2, right? So we need to be looking for parameter 1. So in that case, if params 1 equals CPU, then see, we can do something here. We can say begin end. We can say li.caption : equals params 3, or I'm sorry, 2, like that. So then we can say that this is the CPU, right? So we need to find the CPU's image index. So this would be 9 and 10. So we're going to say li.imageindex equals 9. You follow me, guys? So check this out. Now you can copy this, paste it, and you can do the same for the other bits of information. So we had CPU, GPU, and BAT. So for this, we have CPU, GPU, and battery. So there's the CPU, that's done. This will be 10. So put 10. And then the battery. So if the params bat, if param 1 is equal to bat for battery, we're going to do kind of an if-then statement, an if-then-else statement inside of this. So rather than have that caption be that of params 2, we're going to say if string to int params 2 is greater than 0, then begin li.caption : equals laptop. Else begin doing li.caption equals desktop. I believe I've done it right. I may have got it backwards. Let's see if this works. So I'm going to go ahead and run this. And we are going to listen and see if we get ourselves a client to connect in. And guys, I do believe I got this correct, but I may have got the params out of order. So we'll just click on it and see what happens. Hey, what do you know? So yeah, it's literally perfect now, except I got the thing wrong at the end. So yeah, so this is great. So this is much better control over what we're doing. So for the battery, we want to set the laptop is 11 and then the desktop is 12. So that means li.imageIndex needs to be 12 here, and it needs to be 11 here. So I believe that is correct without me having to go and look. Let's just run it again and see if I'm right. So we'll run this, and we're going to listen, and we're going to pull this over and see what happens. And bingo. Guys, it is absolutely beautiful. This is perfected code because it doesn't matter what order these may come in thanks to that async result. We have fine-tuned control over all the icons so it won't mess up. We can also, if you really wanted to, we could grab all of the information and try to force it all as one thing. If you want these to be in a very specific order, guys, let me show you something. I wanted to show you this kind of advanced little thing here, but on the client endpoint, you see how we do the execute command, execute command, execute command? Why not just send them all in one? See, I'm trying to make you guys think outside the box. You get it? So like if you send 3 and you run into like an async problem with your sockets and you have to fine tune grain it like I did over here, why not just grab all the info like pre-grabbed in RAM and just shoot it all off in one go? You see what I mean? That way, you're only having to parse one command. Okay, so guys, this mistake, again, completely made so that you guys could learn as we program. So now you've understood that the Netcom 7 socket's execute command functionality is actually asynchronous, which means you can fire these off all you like, but they can still arrive in a different order based on whether or not these components or whether or not this execute command statement truly executed before this one or this one or this one did before this one or this one. You get it? So it has nothing to do with TCP. It has everything to do with the socket, the host socket library that we're using. Okay. All right, guys, I hope you've understood. Again, we will run this again just to give it one final run. So let me go ahead and run this real fast. So here's the client, here's the server, listen and wait for the person and click on the person, and there you have it. And that is perfection. See how they still came out of order, but we've had our fine-tuned grain control over the icons, so it worked perfectly. We have our GPU, they're on a laptop, and they have a CPU, which is an AMD Ryzen 7, blah, blah, blah. So there you have it. Guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this this video. Also, if some of you are wondering, well, can we add like a country flag, like on the far left here, like to make it to where we can see what country they're in? Sure, we'll do that in a later video, absolutely. So there's that. And guys, I hope you really enjoyed this. I know I did. I loved programming this. I love doing this for you guys so that you guys can learn all this cool stuff. I'll go ahead and disconnect. Oh, and here, I'll also show you what we've done so far. Oh, hey, I'm glad I did this. Let's fix this. When you click on this guy, make sure you clear the box. Rookie mistake. Watch this. If you click on this, on the click event procedure, make sure that before you do anything, clear all past results. Self.listview2.clear. There you go. Problem resolved. Watch this, boys. So if I run the rat, run the client, and we go ahead and listen and get the person, click on the person, boom. Okay, so now then, check this out. Whenever I click again, it's perfect. You see? Click again, perfect. Pull down, click again, perfect. See? Beautiful. That's exactly what you got to do. Okay, so there's that. I think, like I said, in the next video, we might do like a little, we might do a country flag, destination origin of country of origin, and we'll go ahead and start trying to dive into some other major stuff. Also, let me show you real quick the task manager just to kind of give you a recap. This is the cloned task manager form that we used. So as you can see, you can click on stuff, you can right click, refresh the list, and you can also kill processes, which I'm not going to do, but actually, you know what? I could probably, let me see. That's everything. Here, I'll open up a notepad for you guys so we can at least do this. I'll refresh the process list, and we'll just look for notepad. So like, there it is right there. So you can see notepad's open here, and then I will kill notepad. And as you can see, it did kill it. So there you have it. All right, guys. So I'll close the client, and also closing the client causes all cloned forms assigned to that client to also be destroyed and freed from RAM, from memory. So if I close the client, or say if the person had shut their computer down, or if there was a networking issue, they would go offline. You see that? Perfect. All right, guys. That's pretty much the end of this session. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends about me. I will be completing this entire rat project on YouTube for you guys. So it's a very good opportunity for you guys to come and learn all about this stuff firsthand. All right, guys. So until next time, I'll catch you later. Peace out.